There's a fancy word for the opposite of editing. Editing is creating rhythm and meaning by putting shots together. But also, you can do what's called mise en scène, put in the scene. You can use the frame and everything that's available to you, lighting, movement, blocking, characters, composition, color, blocking, everything that could possibly lead to meaning, you can fill your frame that way. So a lot of times, if you're in a low-budget movie and you need to get through a scene with one shot, you can do it, but you have to do it differently. Like if you were covering it from several different angles, you'd have options and you'd be able to, create it in the editing room. You'd be able to create interest and keep the momentum moving. But if you're doing it in one shot, you need to create the momentum moving by adding elements where a character moves and the light changes and another character comes in. You might see like a filmmaker like Robert Altman, or even like in Sling Blade, Billy Bob Thornton, or even like Wes Anderson. You'll see them do a lot of scenes where there isn't a lot of coverage, or it's just kind of a mise en scène kind of tableau. And the thing is, in this scene in Hard Scrambled, he's walking to and from the camera. He's wringing the water. There's the feet. There's like an caged animals thing where their feet are they're checking each other out. You've got Scotty kind of small in the frame in the background. You've got Richard facing us. You've got the checkered board floor, which is definitely just aesthetically interesting, possibly even suggesting like a game of chess or something. So you have all these elements that are kind of drawing you into this world. So this shot can survive for a while without editing. Now, that doesn't mean that you can just put up a shot and let it run for 10 minutes. What you need to do is say, well, if I'm going to cover this area of the story with just one shot, you need to add variety, not with editing. You need to add variety with all the elements at your control. Movement, blocking, lighting. And if you can keep adding new elements and in depth and blocking and movement and light, then you can create a scene out of one single shot. To keep the shot interesting, to be able to make this long shot work, you need to keep adding new information. You see the shadow, or the silhouette of Killian walking up, he comes in. So you see that although the shot's static and it's beautiful to look at, we're constantly adding new information. So oftentimes, if you're stuck in a situation where you're trying to tell your story with mise en scène, as opposed to editing, you got to think about using all the elements you can to keep it engaging. In film school, you see the great shots in Goodfellas and Touch of Evil, the fluid camera where you follow someone through space. Well, a lot of times in low-budget movies, you don't have the budget to be able to light that much or to be able to orchestrate enough space and geography that the shot can continually get interesting. But you can always, if you're in a bind, do one shot, but then you have to use all your creative forces to make sure that that shot itself is loaded with constant information that's changing and keeps your attention the whole time.